We are just waiting for Facebook. There we go. Hey guys, today we are describing and discussing the good old topic of why fad diets work and why you should not do them. So, if you are going to be joining me, make sure to hashtag I'm here in the comments below. And if you're hashtagging a replay, we know that you caught it later. No problems there. So, today I want to discuss the reality as to why fad diets or crash diets work and why you shouldn't do them. Okay. Hey Greg, nice to see you. And we got a few friends on Facebook. Here we are. We going live. We Gucci. Hey Rachel. All right. First off, I want to precursor this with what exactly is a fad diet? A fad diet is something that you'll probably see in a magazine or a celebrity's done it. Basically, a fad or crash diet is meant to get you big results in a small amount of time. And the way that they do that is by aggressively cutting down your food. They aggressively reduce the amount of calories that you are consuming. And a lot of the times, they make you do a lot of movement with them. And they do work. I'm sorry to say, but they do work. And there's a few reasons for that. So today we're going to be breaking down a few reasons why they do work and maybe a better approach to save your hormone health and whatever else. All right. So examples of really good crash diets might be like the maple syrup diet that was going around, Atkins. What's another really good one? You might hear like aggressive calorie cutting for like 80-10-10. You might hear Mediterranean diet. All these different diets are designed to give you big results in a short amount of time. Or how many apps tell you to eat 1,200 calories because they take into account your activity, which we all know is a bag of shit. So, a fad diet is something that's going to make you lose scale weight, meaning the pounds on the scale, really quickly versus, actual fat loss. Okay. Fat loss and scale loss are two different things. And we're also going to be discussing that. So, first, fad diets cut calories to the extreme. So, the typical person needs about, between 1,800 and 3,000 calories a day, depending on activity level, height, weight, sex, etc. Okay. Lots of things go into play with your calorie needs, but fad diets cut calories to the absolute excess and extreme, meaning that they'll cut you back down to like 1,200 calories, which is, essentially what a toddler needs in a day. And if you're a grown-ass adult, I'm sorry, you probably don't need 1,200 calories in a day. You probably need a lot more. They make you add extra movement. So a lot of these fad diets will have you working out or going on walks and doing exorbitant amounts of cardio 4, 5, 6 days a week, and it's aggressive. No wonder you feel like a bag of shit when you do it. I'm sorry, it's true. No wonder you feel like a bag of crapola when you do it. The other aspect here is that while you do it, you know that it's temporary, so you're going to do it. Because you know it's temporary, your motivation, quote unquote, gets high, and it doesn't actually create habit change, which will give you lifelong weight loss. Also, the body has zero choice but to lose water, muscle, and fat to stay alive. Okay, our bodies are extremely skilled at this. They are pros at keeping us alive through periods of starvation, like in our past. And they have a huge ability to reduce our metabolic rate, meaning the calories that we burn in a day gets reduced. All right. And when we do go on these very aggressive movement and crash diets, the body will have no choice but to start shedding weight because it needs to stay alive. It's burning some fat. It will most likely lose a lot of extra water retention, and you will likely lose a good amount of muscle. All right. So because our bodies are so adept at wanting to keep us alive and keep things functioning, it'll slow down our metabolic rates. All right. What this does is what we're going to head into next. I've put together a series of 5 reality checks for you so that you know why you shouldn't be doing them, because we know why they work. Now you should know why you shouldn't do them. Ha. Hey, Lori, nice to see you, girl. All right. Reality check number 1 is that fat loss and scale loss are not the same. Fat loss and scale loss are different things. Scale loss means the number on the scale has reduced. Fat loss means the fat tissue on your body has reduced. All right? They do not always reflect one another. A very good example of this is looking at athletes whenever they are going through periods of injury versus when they're in training. A lot of them will maintain their weight, but you can see that the composition of their bodies is drastically different. One is way more muscular, the one is a lot less muscular. So that being said, fat loss is what we actually want when we say we want to lose weight. And the scale is simply a tool in our toolbox to help us identify different triggers, to help us identify inflammation, and to a certain extent, to monitor fat loss as well. I'm not going to go into the whole shebang as to how to measure fat. That's a very complicated ordeal. But if you're bound and determined to do it, the best thing you can do is go for a DEXA scan. It costs a little bit of money, but it's actually one of the most reliable sources if you're that invested in knowing your exact fat percentage, okay? Reality check number 2 is that your hormones get affected for long periods of time after aggressive dieting. When you go on very aggressive diets of like 1,200 calories, maple syrup, alternate day fasting, etc., your hormones get affected in the long term. I was reading a couple studies based off of the Biggest Loser contestants, and what the medical teams found was that their fullness hormone was reduced, their hunger hormone was increased, and the stress hormone cortisol was also increased for long periods of time after they were done the show. Now, I don't know about you, but I can handle that stuff short term. I can handle that stuff for I can handle it for a few weeks, not a problem. But I couldn't handle that long term. Or can I? I've been through that. I've had metabolic damage where my hormones were all screwy. So that being said, when your hormones get screwed up for a long period of time, you're going to get frustrated and angry with your body. You're going to get frustrated and really angry at your body for not working, when in reality, it's worked to keep you alive because that's what it's designed to do. All right. And that being said, you should probably avoid that. So reality check number 3 is that there are a few ways to lose weight, and you should be picking what is realistic in the long term for you and understanding how to get out of it after a period of time. All right. So there's a few ways to kind of look at weight loss. Yes, all of them do require a reduction of calories. How aggressive you go depends on your goals. All right. Step number 1 would be to assess, am I looking to reduce the scale or fat loss? If you're looking to reduce the scale, simply calories means you have to have a low, let me rephrase that. By cutting calories, you will have to focus on a deeper calorie deficit than if you add in movement. Method number 2 is, of course, not changing your food and going aggressive on movement. And number 3 is a little bit of both, which is the most appropriate for long-term fat loss. All right, which means you reduce your calories a little bit and you add a little bit of movement. And this is going to take you a little bit longer, but you're going to remain sane because you can have a few treats here and there. You're going to feel a lot better because it's not aggressive and not quick. And most of all, your hormones are probably going to thank you for not being a jerk and actually treating them with kindness, because your adrenal system and whatever else needs you to stick around, okay? Reality check number 4 is that we want to preserve muscle at all costs. We want to preserve muscle at all costs. And what does that mean? Well, our muscles are directly tied to our metabolic rate, meaning how much our body burns calories throughout the day. Okay. And when we go on aggressive diets, like we said above, there is a large chance that you're going to end up eating up your muscles for extra calories, extra food to stay alive and function. Okay. So what we want to do instead is pick our third approach of moderate calorie reduction and moderate movement, so that we can preserve our muscles at all costs, so that they help keep our metabolism alive, help us feel strong, build the muscles that we want to see when we're looking to tone, which is literally just build some muscle, lose some fat. And they just feel a lot better, because now you're not going to be a walking skeleton, okay? Or having low muscle and high fat on your body. That's also a not nice situation to be in, okay? So preserving muscle at all costs is done through resistance training. That is why if you ever go on Gym Talk, every single person who is about the gym or about movement will always tell you weights over cardio, weights over cardio, resistance training over cardio. You can do it with body weight, towels, bands. You can do it in your house with the space of a yoga mat. Guys, I have worked out with a little, like 2.5 foot space by like a 5 foot space before. I was in a dorm in Russia. I still made it happen. Preserve your muscle at all costs. If anything from this talk you take away, preserve your muscle and treat your body and hormones with kindness, because hormone balancing sucks, as Rachel said. It really does freaking suck. They take a long time to balance, and it's not worth the whole mess. Reality check number 5 is that recomposition is possible. This means losing fat and gaining muscle is possible at the same time. And this is the key to making your hormones not go crazy. This is the key to allowing your hormones to balance themselves out and keep the fat off and learn the habits. All right. When you say you want to lose weight, you most likely mean this. Instagram, I'm pointing at my little slide on Facebook. Recomposition means to lose fat and gain muscle without your hormones going nuts. A really good example of this is that, yes, it takes a little bit longer, but a very recent study showed that was not focused on speed. The thing with these kind of studies is that a lot of them are focused on speed. This one actually slowed things down and focused on educating people on whole foods and habit change. That took a little bit longer, and they were able to lose 4.2 kilos of fat versus the aggressive dieters who were only able to lose 2.4 kilos of fat out of a total 6 kilo weight loss. So the people who took a little longer saw almost double the amount of fat loss than the people who are aggressively dieting. What does that tell you? That tells you that their bodies were in a much better state. That tells you that they treated themselves a little bit better, and they were able to see more fat loss with just a little bit of patience. So yes, fad diets do work. They do not work in the long term. What you should do is focus on moving your body, prioritizing some resistance training. I don't care how. Body weight, towels, resistance bands, weights, barbells, I don't care. And cutting your food down minimally and allowing your body a chance to actually perform. Give it a chance, because a lot of you get frustrated. To give you a little bit of perspective, 1 pound or half a kilo of fat loss is equal to 3,500 calories. If you lose 6 pounds, that is 21 1,000 calories or more. That is more. If I look at my, it's in there. Let's look at this, okay? If you lose just let's say 5 pounds, okay? 5 pounds of fat loss is equal to 17,500 calories burned. So don't look at the scale as, oh my God, I only lost a pound. If you look at the calorie burn for that, 17,500 calories for 5 pounds of fat off the body, that puts things into a much better perspective. All right, friends, this is the end of my talk. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your biggest surprise was maybe in the comments below, and I would love to hear from you soon. I do pay attention as to who's actually watching this, and I appreciate you all. Rachel, we will get you that composition, girl. And to my belle cousine, merci. I love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Remember, prioritize movement, a little bit of food reduction, and lots of sleep. Your hormones will thank you. Bye.